American citizens first before we bring anybody. I shut down all immigration from anywhere in the world. In fact, each state should do that. We should say we're not accepting immigration from any of the other states right now. Tough. That's tough. We're shutting it down, man. That's how serious it is. It's life and death. What do you think? One person that's been maimed or killed in these attacks, that this is okay? And the same thing with the Federal Reserve. I think we need to go to money. It all comes down to money. It's the same root of all the evil. Okay, all the evil. People are being paid. Their families are being paid to suicide bombers. Okay, money, again, Satan, again, is injected to all the evils of the world, all the evils we're experiencing. And people need to talk about it. Paul Joseph Watson and all Alex Jones' other reporters need to inject this understanding that Satan is. The devil is in the detail of all these problems. And the Chamber of Communists, Chamber of Commerce, right? The more the merrier. It's a head count. Right? That's the way it works. They take a census. We've got all these people, and these are paying people. These are people young, strong, they got money or whatever. They're entrepreneurs. They come in here, they displace our weaker ones, and so they die out in the streets under the bridges, and we keep bringing in refugees. And Obama's out there flaunting this, saying this is what we should do, this is right, this is being compassionate and caring about other people. No, it isn't. It's bullcrap since they made the conflicts in the first place. This is all by design. Don't you understand the diabolical nature, the profoundly diabolical, exceedingly diabolical nature of what they've done? Okay, it boggles the mind, but these people are devilish. They are. That's what diabolical means. They're evil. They want the destruction and the permanent division of our nation, acutely divided, hopelessly divided against each other, thinking and being at each other's throats, just regular everyday people at each other's throats for our own survival, while they hide behind ISIS. Don't look at us. Forget the Federal Reserve. Forget those illegitimate politicians that you call the government. They're just fascists now. So you just get over it, man. Just march off to the death camp. Go kill yourself on opioids. Lose your will to live. Die under a bridge. Something, whatever. But, we got to save the planet here, and this is how we're doing it. Understand what's going on and explain it to your viewers. Oh, all you reporters over there at InfoWars, I love you guys to death, and I admire you and respect you immensely. Okay, and I'd probably be a reporter myself if I had what it takes. I just don't like confrontation. I don't like to get into these heated debates about nonsensical things. I mean, maybe I can do it on my own. Maybe I could be a radio talk show host. I could take calls, that kind of thing. I can handle that. I mean, I know I'm a smart guy. I've got intuition, and I've got intellect, and I've got the wherewithal that God gave me. His spirit lives within me to answer these questions and keep it simple. I'm a simple man. I like stuff simple. And I try to explain economics very simply when it comes to understanding supply and demand and defining progress in these terms. I can do it to people. And it makes sense. It's logical because I can back it up with mathematics. And this is the route to freedom. This is the path to freedom. But here we got to get control over this or that, the issuance of currency. We've got to gain control over that. We, the people, have to be the check and balance. We, the people, have to be the oversight, have to be the accountability over these agencies. So let's see here. I got to hurry. I really want to hurry now. So, yeah, the horrific attack on the London Bridge I'm talking about. Horrible stuff, man. Just running people down and then jumping out and stabbing them. How could anybody do that stuff without being possessed by Satan? They are possessed by Satan. Yeah, I guess, I'm really frustrated myself, too, for my inability, my impotency at affecting change for the better, and, I'm not going to quit trying. This is fighting the good fight. But at the end of the day, I have to let go just like everybody else. And I have to do some conforming to get by. I have to use Federal Reserve notes. I'm stuck in the same crap hole. And, I just wish the best for people. I want people to get it. I want get the bull by the horns. Bring down your cost of living. This is what we're after, is getting our cost of living down, getting the worth of our currency up. This is the path to freedom, is through universal prosperity. And you can't go it alone, okay? And a lot of people will tell you it is all about yourself. It's it. You can't beat us, join us, right? And I don't like that attitude. In fact, I despise that attitude. And it's everywhere. I see it everywhere. And it's bad, 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 bad. And, I don't know what we're going to have to go through to get it through our heads that the direction we're going is untenable. But something has to change here, man. This train has to come to a halt. And we got to start winding our cost of living down. Okay, this is the only way we're ever going to be free in America or anywhere else in the world. You notice a while back, with the Kathy Griffin thing or the beheading of Donald Trump. Notice the mainstream media didn't ask a guy like Alex Jones about that, or what's her name, Maxine Waters, okay? Because what is stored up in the heart comes out the mouth, and they know they would have said some really unbecoming things probably. That would have made it to mainstream media. That would have made it to even internet media. And that would have been, yeah, well, what's so bad about that? Yeah, I think that too. I mean, they should kill Trump. Trump's bad for the planet, right? I mean, he didn't sign on to the Paris climate fraud treaty thing, okay, and he's an enemy to humanity. That in their mind, that they will rationalize that, okay, in their mind. So what's stored up in their hearts, this hatred for Donald Trump, will come out their mouths, even so it's completely unbased hatred for him. But it goes against their meme, against their narrative, against the status quo, against the establishment, because he does believe in prosperity. And they know that's antithetical to their plans. They need to keep on chipping away at our standard of living. Okay, they need to keep that train chugging, man. And remember, they're still riding high. They're still on top of this thing. It's getting harder and harder. As far as I know, our cost of living is not in steady decline yet. And that's what we need to see. That's our metric. That's our gauge. That's the measurement. That's the evidence to look for. I already apologized to everybody for ranting last week. I'm not condemning anybody. I'm really hard on myself too here, folks. I metaphorically slit my wrists every freaking day. God knows it. I hate my life in this world. I hate things getting so bad. That's why I'm such an apologist to younger generations. I say, what a pile of crap you've been handed. You're just been bred as a farm animal, livestock, to be a rent slave. A hopeless rent slave. You're never going to be able to own a home in California. Get real, man. Unless you join them, unless you pull a rabbit out of the hat. Okay, it's just going to get worse and worse. And yes, you're going to depend on welfare for your survival later. Of course you are. Put two and two together, dumbass. That's the way it is. That's why I say, what Thomas Jefferson said. The amount of tyranny you live under, it's all financial. That's how they steal your freedom. Okay, is the amount you're going to get. The amount you tolerate is what you're going to get. So you keep tolerating it, and you're going to keep getting it. And it's no fun to have to put your foot down and just say no to an ever-growing cost of living, cost to survive. But you're going to have to do it. It's going to get ugly. This is a war, but it's better than it going hot and physical. But that's where it's going to go eventually if things keep going and people just play cool. Oh, I could pay that extra. I could pay that, so I'll just play it cool. But meanwhile, you know that you're not going to be able to survive, keep paying your bills, and maintain any semblance of any standard of living. Okay, even being on welfare, even being subsidized, you may not be able to do it. So what's the next thing? Put a bullet through your brain. Just go die. There's a story about kids getting migraine headaches, but they don't talk about the monosodium glutamate in pack products like Doritos, right? But it's true. They won't talk about high fructose corn syrup and what that's doing to people. No, none of this. The poisons in our food and air and water. Okay, the fluoride. They're not going to talk about this stuff in the mainstream media, are they? They won't talk about chemtrails, the effect on the weather and the climate, none of this stuff. So the mainstream media is useless. It's a farce. It's a joke. It's anti-education. It's anti-information, really. And when they intentionally misinform people, that's bad, man. Get your information from the internet. ISIS attack in Iran, 12 dead. That's interesting because people are always saying that Iran's such a sponsor of terror, but apparently ISIS doesn't like the Iranians, so apparently they're not as terroristic as ISIS, huh? Oh, Obama's speech, again, that was putrid, okay? It was like the fingers of a gaggle of demons scratching on a chalkboard, okay, to me, listening to his speech. Now, just to go into a few of the thoughts from this past week. A perpetually rising cost of living is a recipe for perpetually expanding misery. Absolutely. While, ellipsis, dot, 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 quote, adversity makes men, too much adversity kills men. That's right. I mean, poverty might be